Hello and welcome to the Holiday Park People podcast. My name's Matt and this is Stacey.
And this is Gareth.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey. We're off.
We are delighted to be joined by Gareth from Leisuredays on a very special day, which we'll get to in a little while. But no, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. Honestly, I'm buzzing.
Yeah,
It's been nice. It's been a nice, smooth lead up to this podcast, isn't it?
Very
Yeah,
professional.
very professional. Yeah.
Absolutely on point. Yeah. You can tell you do this for a living, guys. 100%.
Smooth, I think you called it.
Well, we've had some technical issues this morning.
One or two.
But
what it is.
Gareth has been here for 3 hours already. But no, here we are. We were talking yesterday about how long we've known each other.
I know, it's pretty scary, isn't it? I think it's 18 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in the game 20, which I know you were going to come on to later, but it's probably 18 years. Easy.
Which is mad
years.
when you look at us both, because
because as a business, we've only been trading 30 years. You know, it was our 30th anniversary. So 20 years of that, we've known each other.
So what was Stacey like 18 years ago?
We're here to talk about we're here to talk about Gareth today.
I don't know if we've got enough time, enough bleeps to go in there. Yeah.
Do you know what
It's a family show, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a family show. Yeah.
I was looking through my phone yesterday because I was saying to Matt, I bet you I've got some photos of me and Gareth from back in the day. And so I was looking through my phone for some photos of us, and then I was like, what if Gareth's got photos of me?
Yeah, you don't want to start down that road.
This is not a route that I want to go down.
If you've got photos, it means you've got evidence, doesn't it? And at the end of the day, you don't want any photos in your photo roll. No. Well, we've had some brilliant kind of conferences and general times in the industry. You know, it's just a laugh a minute, isn't it?
Yeah,
and you've got to laugh.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
That's what I love about this industry.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I think.
Not too serious, is it?
No, and it's people like you that, you know, we've both been around for a really long time, haven't we? And so have you. And I think, but it's people like you, and we talk about this all the time in our business, don't we? It's people like you that make the sector so great, like genuinely.
Well,
it is.
I think you've got to look at it for what it is. It's a leisure industry, isn't it? So if you come in all too serious, then, you know, it's going to be hard work. And also, it's not going to be fun, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of people are really envious of myself and, you know, Leisuredays as a team, because we have fun and we really enjoy our roles. Like some people are like, even my wife, she's like, I can't believe you love your job so much. And I genuinely do, because of the people that we meet, the industry that we're in, what I do, it can be fun. A lot of people think insurance is boring. Behind the scenes, it's not, you know, and it is just genuinely, you get up and you've got a smile on your face to get to work.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and I'm privileged.
That's evidenced by the fact that you've been with Leisuredays for 20 odd years.
Yeah. Who would have thought I'd be with a business for 20 years? Who would have thought I'd been in insurance, to be honest? You know what I mean?
But that is the thing, though, because I suppose it's one of those subjects. It's not. I mean, we talk about the sector generally not being very sexy, but insurance is
Dull as dishwater, wouldn't you? You'd be like, you know, your typical insurance rep rolling up with his 3-piece suit on, which is what I did once. And you know, I could tell so many funny stories. One of which, like when I first joined. So I came from a financial background. So I worked in banks where it was very much, you know, 3-piece suit, shirt, tie, all the works, you know. So when I first came to this industry, I'm thinking, well, it's still insurance. It's still got that kind of, you know, professional etiquette outlook. And I'm turning up to Parks in a 3-piece suit and they're going,
who's this?
Who's this knobhead?
Exactly that. I remember one park, and obviously I won't name the parks, but I remember one park I pulled up and I was like, I've got a meeting with so-and-so. No, you haven't, sir. No, you haven't. You can get off my effing park. We don't deal with any kind of sales reps, this, that and the other. And I was like, what? No, I rang you. Anyway, about turned off the park and I thought, okay, I'm going to take my tie off, I'm going to take my blazer off, I'm just going to go in just a shirt. I thought, I'll try it, you know, that was me. Right. Drove on, and I was like, oh, hi, it's Gareth from Leisuredays. And they were like, oh, hi, Gareth, you all right? Genuinely. I was like, right, okay. And that was the day when I said, right, we will not wear ties to work.
Yeah.
You know, we changed the kind of picture of what insurance brokers look like and try and fit in with the industry. And it's taken a long time. Like, obviously, I'm sat here as me. Like usually I'd be in chinos and a shirt, you know, looking a little bit more corporate, but not a lot of people see this side to us because you do have to put that professional image, but you do have to mix with them as well, don't you? You know, in terms of you want to make them comfortable, and you know, you guys have been doing that for so long in your, you know, roles before you were holiday park people, but now you see it probably even more. But yeah, it's frightening, isn't it? 20 years.
Yeah. 20 years.
Mad. So so let's set the scene then. So
Here we go.
where are you from? So where are you from?
Halifax,
West
Yorkshire. If you can tell the accent.
We did have a conversation about subtitles.
We did.
So started your career in banking.
I did, yeah. I left school. I'm not the most academic person, so I didn't have great grades. I didn't know what I wanted to do. My family had their own business. My dad was an electrician. I had numerous guys working for him around the country. At the time, I felt that's not where I wanted to be. I probably wanted to be a footballer like every lad wants to be. Yeah, you know, typical. But then I had this like blue sky thinking of being an artist. So I'm quite good at drawing.
Right.
Yeah, I love drawing. Genuinely love drawing, painting. And I wanted to be a cartoonist.
Right.
But there were no money in it.
No.
You know, and it was really hard.
Still isn't.
No, it probably isn't. Well, everything's digital now, isn't it? Yeah. So I then looked at becoming an architect. Yeah, but I had really poor grades, so I couldn't get into that.
Yeah.
I did a little bit like work experience, loved it, loved the kind of technical drawing side and, you know, the colour matching and this, that and the other, but I just didn't have the grades to be able to go and do it and needed to go to uni. I didn't want to go to uni, didn't really like school. So then I was like, I want to earn my own money. I want to be able to pay, you know, for clothes and pay my own way, have that independence. So I ended up landing into the financial sector. Like you say, I work for the bank. Everyone works for Halifax. If you live in Halifax, it's the kind of like the, you know, the old, everyone who lives in Halifax works at Halifax at some point, and it's so true. So yeah, I started there and I was like a little postman, you know, going, delivering all the mail to different departments, and then probably my cheeky kind of sense of humour and character, people was like, oh, you'd be great at this and great at that. And then worked my way up, and eventually I went through various different departments, and I've had some fantastic departments I've worked in. International payments, so dealing with, you know, the kind of stock exchange. I was like, you know, the Leonardo DiCaprio Wolf of Wall Street. Although we're only filling in forms, and I've lost money. I've lost a horrendous amount of money putting the wrong decimal place in. Jesus. Then I worked in marketing.
Right.
And I worked for like the credit cards department and the current accounting department. And do you remember Howard Brown? Do you remember the guy on the adverts?
Yes.
So I used to do a bit with Howard Brown. We've done various campaigns, and that's when I started to feel I love talking to people, as you both well know. And I thought, actually, being kind of like in the print side or the design side, again, going back to maybe where I wanted to be with a cartoonist, artist, that kind of gives me a bit of insight in there. But someone said to me, you'd be great at like repping. I was like, yeah, actually getting out and about. And from there, I ended up at Caravan Guard Leisuredays. Because everyone knows me as Mr. Leisuredays, yeah? But that's not the company. Yeah. It's the brand.
Yeah.
So the company's Caravan Guard, you know, typical kind of Caravan Guard insurance is you know, the business, the registered business name. Leisuredays is brand of that, which I 20 years ago kind of feel like I set up, and and that's me now.
And then there you are.
Yeah.
So for those, for anyone that's either listening or watching that maybe hasn't heard of Leisuredays, where have you been?
I'm gonna say
Been living under a rock.
Yeah, how rude. Yeah.
No, but just just give us a little, give those people a little bit of context.
A mini bio, a little bit of context. We're a family-run business. Caravan experts in a way. We did start out as we had two businesses. We had a commercial business and we had the personal lines business. So the family, the Wilby family, started the business over 30 years ago, and typically they were caravanners. So they kind of edged themselves into that caravan market. And then Leisuredays was formed, 23 years ago, something like that. And ever since we've just grown, from then we've just grown and grown and grown and grown. over 126,000 customers across all our 4 core products, because we don't just do holiday caravans. We've got park homes, we've got tourism motorhomes as well. They're like our 4 core products that we work from. The family are in the business. You know, Peter, still the chairman, and then we've got the 3 kids, Ryan, Sally and Louise, and then we've got their husbands and wives that are also on the board.
Okay.
So we've got like
so
the family.
real family
God,
business.
yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
family. Real family backbone, real family values. Everything that we do has got that family feel and culture. It's again, I'm a big advocate of the company, I must admit, and the family. I went to school with them as well, so I know them.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So I went to school with Ryan and Sally and Laura and Louise, and then I did fall into it. But there's a lot of people that are in the business that we've either known from past kind of childhood and or going to school or college. So yeah, we're a real kind of small family. But actually, we've now become a big business.
Yeah.
So that's kind of us, really.
Yeah, and I think outwards, because obviously, like I say, we've known each other a long time, and I've known about the business a long time. And actually, as experience as an operator, we used Leisuredays as one of our providers, and but I think it's that sort of the family values approach. Real sort of friendly, warm, like that's always been my perception, always been my experience, isn't it? It's just a really lovely business.
It's just as much about when things are going great, that's good, that's all good. But when things aren't going so great and you need some support, the thing that I hear, I've not known you anywhere near as much as long as Stacey, but what we generally hear is that you're available all the time, and
it's good to know.
As a business, and that I think that comes back to the family values piece, which is, if there's ever a problem, it's not a problem that you need to solve on your own as an operator. They've got the support network within Leisuredays, and
I was just going to say, it sounds cheesy, but we care.
Yeah.
We genuinely care about our customer. And the park operator, because we sit over 2 sort of like customer bases, if that makes sense. Like you as the operator and you as the customer, and we're in the middle. Leisuredays try and work for both sides. Not that there is sides, but there's if you know what I mean, it's kind of both pots. We do care, Matt. We really do care about our image, our brand. We built it up over the number of years. I'm going to keep saying, I wonder how many times I can get 20 in. Get 20 more than 20. But no, it is easy to be and have a corporate outlook. Just look at it as a transaction. But I think for me, it's like I take it as a personal objective to do the right thing, which is one of our values. Do the right thing, and I also feel it's my personal responsibility. That we're doing the right thing by the customer as well, and that we're caring completely, and that we're making it as simple as possible for the customer. Because insurance can be a little bit like mortgages. It's like, whoa, what am I actually getting into? And it's nice.
That fear about putting a claim in it, even if you need one.
Or have I got the cover that I think I have?
Yeah.
And I think there is that I mean this like in the world generally, I don't mean about Leisuredays, but there's this kind of like, there's always a catch, or they always say that I'm going to be be for that, but I'm not, and that's like, there is that perception of insurance
real
generally.
stigma around insurance of, you're not going to pay out, when we put a claim in, and this, that and the other. And
Clause 10.1 says.
Exactly that, yeah. But there is that perception of insurance companies don't pay out, and I think generally speaking, across the insurance industry, there is bad press there. I just like to think that we try and change that. And when we're, like you said, I had one the other day. Well, I've been in Wales for a couple of days, and I was on a park that unfortunately has had 2 fires. And I was saying to you, Stacey, earlier, of how do we, as a business, and other, our competitors, how do we show the customer true value? Because everyone's looking at price right now, sorry to go on the whole kind of cost of living, but it's
a fact.
Of course it is. Yeah, it's a massive factor. And I always find it difficult to get customers to understand if they're paying £50 more with Leisuredays for just throwing a figure out there, the value of that. Now, just being in Wales, unfortunately, there's been a couple of customers where caravans have gone up in smoke. 2 of them were Leisuredays, 1 of them with another provider. The ones with us, we understood what they needed. For instance, a particular feature of our policy is debris removal and recycling. Now, most of the what I call the specialist industry providers will have that factored into the cover. The ones that maybe don't, the online providers, which are cheaper, you know, they've got, obviously, it's like anything. When you're stacking things up, you know, you build a car and you put all your features on, you pay a price at the end of it, don't you?
Well, you never think you're going to need it, do you?
Of course you don't. No, and that's the thing. It's that a necessity evil
Like
of
pet
insurance.
insurance. You never think you're going to need it.
Absolutely.
Until you do.
And when you do need it, you think, oh, I'm so glad I had that. Because now there's that peace of mind and there's that kind of convenience. And that's, to me,
or
insurance.
you think, I wish I hadn't saved that tenner.
Or I've had, honestly,
because you get caught out, don't you?
I've had some horror stories where I've been sat next to somebody or stood next to somebody in reception when one of our parks flooded, the entire park flooded. And I remember the customer coming in, crying and saying, not only have I lost my caravan, I've lost my car outside, beautiful car. And I remember her saying to the receptionist, if only I'd have gone with Leisuredays, it was £30 more, and I'm now getting paid out.
Yeah.
Those particular examples.
And how does, you know, I don't know about anyone else, but I feel like in the last few years there's been more storms than I knew in the first 40 years of my life. You know, how is that sort of impacting in the insurance world as generally? I mean, and Leisuredays.
Well, it's one of the biggest perils now. Right? You know, climate change is crackers. You know, we've got our own little flood consultant, but we've got our own flood consultant who looks into climate change, and we build climate change into any rating factors where there is a park at risk of flooding or susceptible to storm. It is very much the headline. We had one this week, didn't we? Benjamin. Benjamin was supposed to be coming.
Is that been, or is that still to come?
Well, it was supposed to come yesterday.
Was it?
Yeah. So we were on park in Barry Island. That's my Welsh. You know, good. On point
What,
there.
just stood there waiting for it?
No offence to any Welsh listeners out there.
That was good Welsh, that.
We just stood there waiting for the storm.
It was sunshine.
Well, I wasn't doing it.
It was sunshine. It was like I was saying to the girls in one of the parks, like, where's this storm supposed to be coming?
But then look at Storm Arwen. I mean, in my life, I have never seen anything like that in my whole lifetime. You know, the pictures of same coastline. Those caravans went off cliffs.
Yeah. It is frightening. I remember when I first came into the business and never thought of flooding to the extremes of what I've now witnessed. And I remember, because we survey all our parks, that's one of our, again, features of going out and making ourselves known with it and getting personal with it, so we know what to do with the park itself, what their kind of needs are from a rating perspective or even from a risk perspective. And I remember going to parks and thinking, never that going to flood. It's miles away from a watercourse, or it's so high up from a watercourse. And then I remember going to my first ever one. That was actually Scotland, up on the east coast. And I remember thinking, oh my days, it's like dinosaurs have literally run through it. And when the operators were saying, so the water got up to this height, Gareth, and it was like, you know, remember the old farm buildings where they used to have the wind direction things? The high up, aren't they? And he was like, it was to the top of that. And I was like, what? I was like,
it's terrifying, isn't it?
I might have to go and get Leisuredays branded scuba gear to get into these parks.
Like a canoe.
Absolutely.
I remember when that one hit. I mean, I was working for a big operator before the one that we met, and you know, the park up near Berwick. Oh my God, I've never. I mean, there was
gas bottles,
trees through caravans, and you know.
It's
but
scary.
the most alarming stories about all that often come from not just the decimation that occurred around holiday homes, but the fact that parks were, I mean, Storm Arwen was well documented, it was coming and everything else. So some holiday home owners and holidaymakers wouldn't get out of the caravans.
I'm not going.
I'm staying in.
Reading the books going, I am not leaving this caravan. You carry me out with that. We might have to carry you out.
And then I remember seeing some pictures of that park in Berwick. I mean, the caravan, the external walls had gone. gone.
Yeah.
I mean, there was sofas and things left behind.
And it's
But
like, you shouldn't laugh.
Scary.
But
No, it's scary.
Well,
isn't it?
there was caravans on the front row overlooking the sea. Gone.
I know.
yeah,
I know.
yeah. I always remember the ones that floated down the river. You know, and you were like, you're getting pictures in the morning and
Can't park there,
videos.
mate.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
It's no, but and you're right. We are laughing, but it is a
terrible,
real factor.
terrible.
And like you say, the weather is really, it is. We won't get too heavy on climate change, but it's it's real,
sure.
isn't it? It's real.
It is real, and 100%. I'm not sat here laughing at the devastation that happened, but I also want to say, we try and make light of it because at the end of the day, as long as nobody's injured, that's my first call. If I ever get a call from a park operator, I've had this, I've had that, my first comment back is, everyone okay? Yeah. And then my next one is, it's just tin.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? And that's what we're here
Things.
to, and that's what we're here to do.
But I think that is the benefit of having, a family business, guys like yourself on the end of the phone, because, if I think about who I've got car insurance with now, if I ring them, I'm not going to be met with the same, family feel, informal empathy. It's going to feel, oh, here we go. I'm going to have to go through a process, probably get passed from pillar to post, and
that's even if
it's
you
transactional. Everything's transactional.
Again, we've always said that just numerous features and benefits of our family business. We've got an operation in Halifax. I was down on the south coast with at the Southwest Caravan Show, and some of our existing owners are coming up and going, I love the fact that I can speak to somebody up in Yorkshire. I love the accent, but actually speaking to somebody.
Yeah.
And we have little buzzwords like, making sure the customers are reassured and that they've got the knowledge and the experience of, the insurance world, so they can make an informed decision. But they always say to us, it's lovely just to speak to somebody. Because like you just said, I wonder how many, not just insurance, I wonder how many companies you now ring which ain't got AI bots.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, AI is a different
subject.
AI is a
fewer and fewer.
I totally believe there's not many out there where you've got that human touch. Customer experience is really important to us, and customer journeys are really important. And I think once you start adding in the robotic side, you lose that, don't you? So yes, I think we'll always try and have that at our core of our customer experience. We've got a great business operation with real people in there, open 7 days a week as well. Not a lot of brokers will be open at the weekends. So we kind of book the trend on that side, but then at the same side, we're a leisure industry, and the caravan parks and dealerships and all, caravan related services.
The storms always come at the weekends as well, don't they?
Oh, they always come at the weekend. They do. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Me and Chris, one of the directors who I work alongside, we always say when it comes to Christmas, we just want to get a flight out to Caribbean. And just literally bury our head in sands, because there's only been one time where Christmas Day I got a phone call, we're underwater, we've got this, we've got that, right, don't worry, kids are upstairs unwrapping the presents, and I'm having to be in my office, and it's like, that's the kind of dedication, that's the kind of commitment we've got. And that's, I always think back to, if it was me and I was in a poo sandwich and I could have somebody at the end of the phone just to say, don't worry about it, we'll sort it. That's why I say
that's all you want to hear, isn't it?
That's all you want to hear.
That's all you want to hear.
That's all you want to hear. Don't worry about it.
It's like, as much as we can talk about, whilst we can be objective and say, it's just a holiday home and it can be replaced, but
it's got people's valuables.
For people, it's their
feelings,
it's their lives,
feelings,
and their
absolutely.
they're so cherished, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like holiday homes are really cherished, aren't they? So not only is it really emotional and upsetting when something happens, especially when it's catastrophic, like a fire or a flood or whatever. But it's, it's people's belongings and their things and their memories, and, so it's really emotional.
It is very, very emotional.
Then to have to deal with the process. And so,
And I'd like to think that's where we can actually disconnect from that. And, we go into, we take the emotional side out of it, and we go in and we, again, are another example of a really bad storm that hit a park, and the front row got absolutely smashed to pieces. And I remember going into a caravan and it literally had no front.
Right.
and the customers are in there. And one of the lady was crying her eyes out.
Yeah.
And the first thing I did, and you know when you know your, well, I say you know your environment, you got to be careful, aren't you? You know, when you walk into a room. And I just said, well, you could have tidied up for me. And she just looked at me and just laughed.
Aw.
And I just thought, I got that one right. Could you imagine?
That could have gone down a bit wrong.
Got really bad. And
Got away with that one.
You'll never guess
And,
what he said.
and I was like moving glass from the table going, 4 foot snakes, man, you could have really cleaned up for me. But,
No.
And she said to me after, just having that little bit of humour
Yeah.
just made me feel
Yeah.
so much
Yeah,
better.
I bet.
Obviously after I was like, don't worry about it, we'll sort, you know,
Yeah.
what it is. But no, in our industry in particular, the insurance industry, it's always generally negative examples that we're trying
Yes.
to spin.
Yeah.
Like my team will tell you, my glass, when someone said the other day, Gareth's glass isn't just half full, it's like overflowing.
Yeah.
I just like to be.
You are probably one of the most positive people I've ever met in my life. And do you know what's mad?
You want to ask
is-
my wife that, she'll probably say otherwise. I'd probably
What?
bottle
No.
up
But
the
you're
word.
constant, aren't
No,
you? You're
I
the
was
sa- you're
just
the
about to
same.
say that.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in all the time, so in all the time we've known each other, every single time I've spoken to you
Yeah.
or I've seen you, you've always been the same.
And honestly, it's not a show. It's not.
Do you ever get in a bad mood?
I don't know. Probably everyone does at
Well,
some point. When
Man
Man United
United.
lose, yeah. So I'm constantly in a bad mood about that.
So that always
Um,
at the moment then.
Yeah, no, I'm a typical bloke in that side. When it comes to anything competitive, if I don't win, yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
foul
foul.
mood.
Yeah.
It's been a
foul mood.
painful 10 years or
okay.
so, hasn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
so I don't know if
Yeah.
I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but for our sins,
Yeah.
we're all Man United fans.
Yeah.
We're all supporters.
So we
aren't
all feel the pain, don't we?
Mind, 2 wins on the bounce.
Yeah.
Last
Yeah.
weekend was
Oh,
stellar.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's
And
I
you
mean-
know what? So I've got some friends in the industry and some general friends who are Liverpool fans. I haven't heard from them.
No,
Just saying that, guys.
must be quiet. must be really busy this week.
It's got really quiet.
It's
yeah.
gone really quiet.
Yeah.
that
Well,
one.
I'm going tomorrow, so they'll probably get.
Oh,
beat,
are you?
Yeah, they'll probably get beat 6-0 or something.
I don't say
Because
that.
I'm there.
No, they won't.
Who is
They
it
won't.
tomorrow? It's
Brighton.
Brighton.
Brighton,
I keep,
yeah,
keep
Brighton.
thinking it's Brentford, but it's Brighton.
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, right. We'll play Brentford a few weeks.
And at
ago.
home as well, so it's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
So
But it's
we'll see.
interesting how you take. I don't know if you two are the same. But like taking outside other influences. So you take your Man United and you take the change in that business. I mean, that's a massive business. The industry massive, and what they've done. Do you ever look at other industries and think, what can we use and take? You know, you guys.
Yeah,
'Cause
sure.
you guys have been it so long as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I think sport generally, because there's lots of links between sport, team sport, and
Yeah.
our sector, isn't there?
Yeah.
You know, there's been well-known sports leaders come into big organisations, isn't there? And it's been well documented. And I think when we both listen to Jake Humphrey, and I love
the
that
high
podcast.
performance.
And I think there are lots of. I
Not
think
as good
there-
as this one.
No, well, one day.
Just saying.
Yeah, Matt always says we're coming for Stephen Bartlett.
Like it.
Only about
Watch out.
100 million
Yeah.
followers to go.
Watch out, Stephen Bartlett.
But no, and I think when you look at the links between high performance sports team and business. I mean, but getting the very best
Yeah.
out of people
Yeah,
is
yeah.
is just management, isn't it? And
Well, you say just management.
yeah,
Leadership, actually.
it is leadership.
Yeah, it's leadership, and that's
It is.
where the difference is, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's that grey area between management and leadership. And I think I was watching. Speaking about sport, like last night, did you watch Pride of Britain?
No.
No.
I watched a bit of it last night. And,
Didn't get home until
Michael-
Road. From Barry.
Michael Sheen came on and presented an award. Have you ever seen that Michael
Oh
Sheen?
yeah, the Welsh.
The Welsh
yeah.
rugby team. Have you ever seen it?
I don't think I have.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
we'll have to watch
phenomenal.
it.
I don't think I
It doesn't
have.
matter how many times I watch it, the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. It's unbelievable.
think
But
I have
there's
seen
two
it.
versions. 'Cause I think he did it on a chat show, but he also does it. I mean, that one's good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the one in the
Changing.
changing room or whatever it is with the rugby team,
Oh, no, yeah.
phenomenal.
See, that's interesting, isn't it? Because that's where most relatable kind of like you say, sport performances. Like Alex Ferguson, we obviously love him for what he did and what a great coach he was. And when I'm fortunate enough to know quite a few people, in the background of Man United, and they were saying how his detail. So we talk about detail a lot now, but his detail, knowing the parents and the players and just making you feel part of something. And I'd like to think, you bring that into your business, like our family. We know everybody in the business, and I mean this is nice.
Everyone in Halifax knows everyone.
Oh, absolutely, we've all got web feet, but we know that from the cleaners upwards, and everybody from the top downwards. It's just everyone just feels part of that team. We're all a team.
But I think the one thing that they feel now as a business and as a football club, I think, is, whilst he was very much in the detail and clearly a great leader, but with on occasions a fiery temper and likes to throw a football boot around, change room a few times. But I think the thing that they probably didn't realise until he'd actually gone was just how much he put up the umbrella and sheltered the players amongst everything else that he must have had to deal with and manage upwards. Because I think the players these days, I don't know, they seem to be scrutinised more than they ever were, and I don't know, and maybe some of that was because he used to draw that attention back to himself in the press conference.
And we talked about that very early on, didn't we, this morning, about how we're not for everybody. There's some great insurance companies out there. Some of my competitors, I actually would say to a park, if it's not for us, try these, because I know that they would work better with you. They would align better with your
We do the
operation.
same, don't we?
There's no point taking somebody on if you're not going to be able to deliver what they want. You're not going to be able to work with them. 2, and 3 is then you're just going to get poor results, aren't you? So it's going to reflect badly on you anyway.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, we've mentioned this almost on every podcast, just how small the industry is. It's big in so many respects.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But it is so small in many others. I mean, everybody, clearly not everybody, but generally everybody knows everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just one of them industries. I don't think there's many others like it.
No. But that's where
so you can
really matters.
Exactly. You can quickly, and we always say, look, between us, we've, over 25 years of experience in this industry, and it's taken us that long to build a reputation. But do the wrong things, take on the wrong partners, you can quickly unwind all that sort of stuff,
in a matter of overnight, it can be done, can't it?
We kind of touched on it earlier, but when we were speaking to Gareth yesterday, he informed us that today was his 20th anniversary at Leisuredays. And
the actual day.
The actual day. God love you, because I think, I'm sure your team would have wanted to be out celebrating with you today, and maybe you'd rather be there, but...
Definitely not.
That's where he's going next. That's where he's going next.
I love my team. Absolutely love my team.
But no, you still chose to be here with us today, and we really appreciate it. So we thought,
we didn't have any champagne glasses.
I know.
So Stacey poured a pint of champagne in each glass.
True holiday park people style.
We'll
we don't have any champagne glasses.
Cheers.
Thank you both very much.
Cheers.
Yeah, here's for 20 years.
Cheers to 20 years.
Another 20 years.
20 more years? I'm going to say, could have been
another 20 in you?
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. And I'll tell you for why.
Right, this could take a turn now. We've never had wine on the podcast before. So tell us for why. So another 20 years in you.
I genuinely think I could work another 20 years in this industry because it is fun. And I've said that before, and the people that are in it make it. But I don't want to retire. Like, my dad's terrible. He's not still retired.
So it's in
I just think it's in our my genes to keep working, but being around people. Yeah. And as long as I'm still got a smile on my face, as long as there's something good to be done, I could be in it forever. Might not be in it doing insurance, by the way. Yeah. Might go and work on a park and be a park warden or you know what I mean? Get on a little tractor. I could see myself on a grass cut just with my podcasts on. I love music, so everything I do has got to have music. But I genuinely think another 20 years in this industry.
All day long.
I still feel like there's a lot to do as well.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's changing a lot, isn't it?
It
It's
is, yeah, especially
really
right now.
evolving, isn't
I
it?
think it's funny because I know you obviously, we talked about when we last met up about certain questions to ask and kind of getting a bit of a understanding and my thoughts on it. I hadn't seen massive changes maybe to what you guys have seen in the industry.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I come from it from a different angle, and very quickly I do bounce around, don't I? I'm sorry, people
you're
call
fine.
me Tigger. I do. I'm all over the shop.
You're fine.
Yeah. It could be the fact that Stacey's ploughing me with coffee.
And now what?
And now why? But
Well, we'll look after it. We'll
yeah,
look
no, I do
after
bounce
her.
around, but
It's really nice, this actually.
It is
she's got the good stuff for us, hasn't she?
Well,
Yeah.
only the best for you,
10 past
Gareth.
8 in the morning.
Stop. Yeah,
In for a penny.
exactly. Yeah, the viewers don't really know that it's 7:30 in the morning and we're drinking champagne. That's how it should be.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I could see myself working on a park.
Yeah?
I could now. Yeah, just helping out or
Yeah.
I could see you on a park.
Yeah, you're
I
such a
could see you
people
on a park.
person, aren't you?
you know, just
really
being,
are.
you know what I mean, just being that handyman.
Yeah.
I could knocking on Doris's door. Yeah, you need a light bulb change, you love. Yeah, come and have a coffee. And
You've thought about this.
I thought a
You've
lot
thought
about
about
this.
this.
I
I
can
have
tell.
thought a lot about this. Because we don't get much interaction with the end user because
No.
we're more B2B. But sometimes when we've got claims and this, that, and the other, and I do make a point of going out and speaking to the owners, and you laugh at this, right? I'm not a massive pet person, so we don't have dogs, cats, and this, that, and the other.
Okay.
And I'm convinced dogs know this.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
They do.
Right.
Paddy always
So
knows.
every time I go to an owner's, they've always got dogs. It's written. And the dog always comes and jumps up on me, and you know what I'm like with my clothes, and I'm like, yeah, lovely. But it's nice to when I go and have conversations with customers and just hear their side. And I'm always like, a butty and a bun and a coffee and this, that, and the other. So
Never
I
say
could
no.
see.
It's
I
what it's all
potentially
about,
could see
though,
it.
isn't it? It's what it's all
It
about.
is. That's what makes our industry and
Yeah.
the customers.
And so I suppose we spoke a little bit about the business, but tell us a little bit. Tell us a little bit about you. So you, obviously, for your sins, love Man United.
I do.
You coach a football team.
I do.
Love sport.
Yeah,
You like
I love
golf?
sport.
Play
Love
golf?
golf. Yeah, love all sports to be fair. Coaching's a real passion of mine right now. I coach for Halifax Town's Academy. So it's,
Oh, so you're decent at it then?
yeah, I'd like to
It's
think
not
so.
true what they said.
Yeah, it's not true.
How
what
long
they
have you
say.
been doing that?
I've been coaching now for at least 15 years. In fact, no, actually, I think it's been longer. So I think Max, my eldest is 18. So family of 4, typical 2.4 children type of thing. I've got 2 boys, Max and Rory. Couldn't be more opposite to each other, bless them. Max, very passionate about sport. He's a scholar, he's a football scholar. He's trying to make it in that tough industry.
Where at?
At Halifax
At
Town.
Halifax,
yeah,
right,
he's
okay.
done, trials trials around the country, from Man United to Chef Wednesday, and others in between, Blackburns, this, that and the other. So he's tried it. He's a decent footballer, to be fair. It's just a tough
Yeah.
industry to make it in.
It's brutal, isn't it, though?
It is really brutal.
When they're so
It
little.
is really brutal.
They're so
my
little.
my middle lad Cassius, he had trials.
I love that name as well.
Yeah, he had trials, but I think he went to City and Man City, and
Yeah.
they just
Boo.
switched him off like
Yeah.
overnight.
it
Like
is-
just went to pick him up after a session, and it's just like you don't need to come back, sort of thing. You
Yeah.
know, it's like
It's the harsh reality.
I'll tell him that then, shall I?
It's a real harsh reality, and I've taken a lot of disciplines from it.
Yeah. Okay.
And you talked earlier about being able to split my emotions and be able to go into an environment and like totally leave my emotions at the door. Football's like that, so I'm a parent and a coach. I can see both sides of it. So when I'm talking to parents and having to let them down, or tell them things about their kids which might not want to hear,
Yeah.
I can so resonate with them as well.
Yeah,
I can say,
okay.
listen, I've been at your side, so I'm
Yeah,
saying it with a warm heart, but I'm also being honest with you. But I have a real passion for that, of trying to get kids, and I've got some really good success stories, lads at Everton, lads at Leeds, lads at Man City, lads at
Oh,
Hull.
how rewarding.
Yeah. The
Right.
last 2 lads that I had, well, obviously name them, but I had 2 lads last year. Just
Can you not
signed.
name him? Or is
No,
it,
we
no.
just
I
shouldn't.
don't know.
Let's
It's
not
one of
talk about other
those.
people's
Yeah.
children.
Okay.
It's like
I forget they're other people's children. I just want to know.
but it's like two lads have just signed a scholarship at Oldham, and so we
Right.
take real
Yeah,
pride
lovely.
in developing lads in the football arena and the football industry. But yeah, I went into coaching I think before Max was born, or even just around the time, and I went in it because I played. So I played at a decent level,
Yeah.
but then I had injuries. People call me chocolate bones. We're always getting injured. I mean, I've got plates and I've got scars.
Really?
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
scars. That's
Oh,
not.
God,
that's
yeah.
actually from snowboarding. Is that one? But I've got plates in my ankles and pins in my ankles, and the amount of times that Kate's had a call and guess what, Gareth's now in hospital, or I'll wait away and eat and broken ankle. This,
It's funny that when you get a little bit older, isn't it? Because obviously,
Whoa.
wherever
Stop the little bit older.
No, but we're of a certain age, and like from my hometown, there was always lads that would play in, like a local team.
Yeah.
I don't mean at any level, but you had this sort of five-a-side during the week, and then
Yeah.
when you start like breaking bones, and people are like, I've got a job, and I need to pay a mortgage. I can't be kicking a ball about on a Saturday and getting a broken leg.
See, I never got, even though I was always, broke loads of bones, when I came back and the doctor said to me, you'd never play football again, I did play another season, but it was in my head then. It was psychological that I wouldn't or couldn't go at 100%. And I thought, if you can't do something 100%, don't do it at all. And that's, it's similar.
Yeah.
Again, I know we bounce around, it's similar to business. If you're not going to put your all in, then don't do it. Yeah. So I thought, how can I still be around football? Because football's quite an infectious industry as well. It's very similar to our industry. People in it are brilliant and just love being around football. So I was like, go to coaching.
Nice.
And you really can transfer skills across the two sides. But that's one of my passions. That's one of the time takers. Obviously, being part of an academy, it's not a case of you're just rocking up and throwing balls out, and lads go and kick them about. There's general kind of session planning, and there's the mentoring side of it, and the games at the weekends. But I do love it. Obviously, the boys have both been in it. Max being the one that's actually progressed higher and maybe go on to hopefully do bigger and better things. But
what about your other children?
Rory is an absolute scream.
What a beautiful name, eh?
Yeah, Roz is very intelligent.
Yeah.
Not saying Max isn't, but Rory's really intelligent, and I could put Rory here, and he would be in our conversation.
Yeah, okay.
He would add stuff in. He's a funny little fucker. He really is. He's really, really.
But you're like that though, aren't you?
He's got a great sense of humour, as Rory, but he can adapt to adult conversations. He loves his music. He plays the guitar. He started getting into golf, which is nice. So I've always been. He did do football, but more socially than kind of competing. And it was always me and Max with football, and then a little bit with Rory here and there. We do tennis and things like that together. But now we've got our golf, so I've got the lovely split between the two boys, where we can just have time together and dad chat and this, that, and the other. Put them both together, they're a nightmare. Like any kids, fight like cat and dog. Yeah, typical boys. They're at that age now. Rory's 13, Max 18. Some of the language that comes out of their mouth is horrendous, and they got to a place where they just know how to talk to you in terms of winding you up.
Yeah.
So my boys will call me bro. I'm like, I'm not your bro.
My 6-year-old has started calling me bruh.
Yeah. I'm like, what? And then Rory calls his mum love. All right, love. I'm like, do not call her love. Honestly. So you can imagine our house. It's like, yeah, all right, bro. I'm not, or mate. That's the other one. And then if they really want to wind me up, they say Gareth.
Yeah.
So they call me by my name. What did you say, Gareth? I'm like, don't call me Gareth. Do not call me Gareth. But no, so I've got the boys, and then I've got obviously Kate. I've been with Kate 26 years. Nice. Wow. Been married 24 years. 20 years, sorry. 20 years. So,
you have to get that one right.
I have to get that one right. Well, I actually got it on my wedding ring, so that. Don't forget.
How long have you been married?
Got
Just
the
a
date
sec.
stamp, bang. Yeah, 20 years we've been married, but we've been together. Well, been together since I was 18.
It's lovely that.
Yeah. I love music.
Yeah.
So again, if it's not sports, which is typical for blokes, I love music, love wine. Genuinely love wine.
You like a red, don't you?
I love
like
a red. Yeah, I love a red wine. A lot of people will know I love my music, love wine, love entertaining. So I love entertaining people.
Yeah.
I really do. I love putting on, a dinner party or, having a little casino night and
Oh, nice, yeah.
doing stuff like that and inviting the neighbours. I am quite sociable, I must admit.
You
Kate
are.
hates it. My wife's
Does
like,
she?
oh,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Shut up and just
Yeah.
stop putting yourself out there.
I think
and doing
it's
this, that,
often
and the
like
other.
that in couples, isn't it? Because I think if you're both the same, you'd either never
Yeah.
leave the house or
Yeah,
you
exactly
would
that.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
both be out all the time and
Yeah.
not be adults
Yeah.
potentially.
Did you lose our address for these events? Or,
It's just a bit far away, isn't it?
no, it's not that far. I mean,
Yeah.
Halifax. I like that.
Yeah.
Not that far.
No,
Yeah.
nice.
Next year, barbecue, you're in there.
Yeah.
Now, barbecues. Sorry, we've got barbecues. I'm your barbecue man. So if you have a barbecue and you invite me,
Well,
I'll
there's
cook.
a question I'm going to ask you
Go
now
on.
that will be able to determine whether or not you mean
Barbecue.
proper barbecue.
Right, go on.
So gas or coal?
Cool. Don't even go down the road, gas. I'm offended. Viewers, I'm really offended now.
Oh, I just don't get the gas barbecue thing. Just stick it in the oven.
It's lazy.
It's not a barbecue, is it? You don't get the taste from the car anyway.
Right.
It's just that you don't barbecue if you
No.
gas.
Fish on barbecue.
Fish.
Do you put
wrapped
fish
in
on?
foil?
Sometimes, but
Okay.
most of the times just
Yeah,
naked
just
flare.
fall apart everywhere.
Well, not if you've got the fish. I'm not being a crocodile. The fish things, when you put them between, it's
Yeah,
like a fish
right.
net.
Oh,
We're still
okay,
a-
right.
This
Yeah.
is still a holiday podcast, by the way. Just
Sorry,
yeah,
we got
yeah,
way
yeah.
there. Yeah, okay.
On holiday parks, they have food and
They
beverage.
do, they do.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
some parks do some wonderful meals.
And some
I do
parts
like
do
it.
some shocking meals.
Absolutely.
And I do like a good barbecue.
Yeah. But no, I think that's just me really. What we've just said then for a couple of minutes of, fun, outdoorsy, entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that sums you up well.
Thank you.
And I loves a boogie.
Oh yeah, and I love
Snake
boogie.
hips. Mind Alan Dixon as well.
Oh, Dico. I mean, again, over the years,
Who's Alan for the people watching?
So Alan was our Southwest rep,
Okay.
based in Bristol, Portishead area, and Alan. So funnily enough, I was down with a park in Wales, and when me and Alan used to go together to joint appointments, they used to call us Ant and Dec.
Yeah, they were like double trouble always. But he did the best Carlton dance.
Oh, he
Like
did.
he can do the
He did.
best
He
Carlton
did.
dance
He did.
impression.
And we've had some. I've had some great, team members over the years. Alan being one
He's
of
a
them.
great
he was
lad,
a pocket
isn't he?
rocket.
He's
he was
a great lad.
great character.
Yeah.
He's a good lad.
Yeah.
isn't he?
And then we've had people.
All right, my lover.
All right, my lover. Yeah. And I still keep in
Sorry,
contact
what
with
accent
him.
was that now?
That was good.
That was not a bad Bristol
Right,
accent.
Gareth always says, all right, Stacey.
All right, Stacey. It's funny because we've just employed Charlotte for the South West and South Wales area,
Okay.
and she's quite posh as Charlotte. So when she's with me for more than 24 hours, she falls into the Yorkshire accent, and I'm like, why are you taking the piss? Just because you're posh, I can put my P's and Q's on if you want. But no, we've had some really good characters in the team, in the department, in the business, and I keep in contact with literally all of them.
Everyone. Yeah, it's nice that,
Apart
it's
from
nice.
two. I'd be
Yeah.
lying if I said all of them. Two. You know you are.
But the industry is like that though. And I think we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago because it's interesting that even though there are lots of businesses in the industry that are competitors in many ways. Oh, that'll be the wine. So yeah, even though there's lots of businesses that compete with each other, I don't think there's another industry quite like it where you've got competing businesses that talk to each other on a daily or weekly basis,
Yeah.
particularly in the holiday home sales space. So, most sales directors talk to each other regularly.
Yeah.
Same with sales managers, same
Yeah.
with sales people.
Yeah.
And, you'll know other insurance providers, and it's the same with the manufacturers. All the manufacturers get on generally really well, don't they?
Yeah, we're no different. Competitors are competitors out there.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and I think the space is big enough for us all.
Yeah, you don't have to speak ill of people.
No, it's quite a crowded place, I must say, from our side.
In your space.
Yeah, and I mean that more from an online perspective.
Right.
So when I worked in the banking industry, there was always, we classed ourselves, the big three. There was always like Halifax, HSBC, Barclays, right? And I always think for us in our industry, there's the big three with us in there, Compass in there, Gallagher's in there. That's how I look at it. And I do my best to keep in touch with them all. And, one of the saddest moments were Karen Stacey, who passed away from Compass earlier this year. I got a really good relationship with Karen, and we shared things that helped each other's businesses and also the overall industry. And I try and do that with them all.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't need to stamp on people. I don't need to stab people in the back. I don't need to bitch. At the end of the day, I'll say what our features and benefits are. But I like them all to help them all.
That's our view of the world, isn't it?
That is our view of the world. And the thing is, you're on borrowed time the minute you start doing that in this industry, because you get found out really quickly.
Of course you do.
There's no need. There is never a need to speak ill of others. And we talked about this in our most recent episode, which you haven't listened to yet.
Been busy on parks.
How did you get to the park? Do you drive?
Yeah.
Oh, it's available on podcast.
All right. Okay. I'm normally listening to Stephen Bartlett.
But yeah, I think there is just no need to speak ill of others, and it's really important that the industry is big enough for everyone, and we're typically a really supportive industry, and as you say, you'll come across people that for one reason or another maybe don't fit for you, or you can't help them, and so that if there are other operators or other service providers that can help them, then of course, because all we all want in our sector is brilliant suppliers supporting businesses. And, if there are suppliers out there that are not brilliant, we would all agree that they don't have any place in our sector.
Totally agree.
Because the industry is so small in many respects, those people, and it's like we've said, how many times have we said on podcasts or to, partners or people we speak to, they'll just go and do the due diligence, the majority of people, and if you don't, then sometimes you're at risk a little bit of getting burnt. But generally, because if there was a requirement for insurance, you just talk about the big three. I mean, generally everyone knows those are the big three, and but equally the personality is the thing that will ultimately drive the decision as to who am I going to ring first.
No, you're right.
Or strength of relationships, and referrals, recommendations, etc.
Past experiences. I also think though that we have a responsibility to the industry. It is a specialist industry, so there'll be some insurances out there that are not covering for flood, for instance, right? And we've talked about climate change, and that I'm always one to say, listen, but just check that they're covering for like, because if you're a coastal park, you need flood cover for your customers. Do you know what I mean? Or if you're in Worcester, where we all know, unfortunately, it's high susceptible to flooding, you don't want a park operator and their customers to be recommending somebody who doesn't have that.
And I love that. It's not about being like cheesy and holier than thou. It's just doing the right thing. Doing the right thing.
Well, we've even got one of our values in there. We've got you saying it.
It's just decency, isn't it? And I think that's the way we like to run our business. Is just
ethical,
just try and be decent. And if you're a decent person, then just be a decent person.
And I think that's where insurance has changed in our in the industry, in terms of we sometimes have to ask for help from other insurers to come on and take some accumulation.
Right.
Some of the big. One of the things that I thought before coming into today about how the industry's changed, the big groups, big operators have just got bigger. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they've got bigger, they need bigger support, more support. So, we're of like a panel for some of the big groups, and we work well with the others. If I try and be the one that leads the communication across the brokers of, right, I've been asked to do this. And it's like, Stacey, can you do that? And Matt, can you do that? Yeah. Rather than me running away with it or running with it, I genuinely do bring us together for the greater good, I could
Yeah.
easily do it, but it's just, it wouldn't sit right with me as well. Like, I know some people have gone, really? You do that? Why wouldn't I?
You're a good egg, aren't you?
I'm a good egg.
You are a good egg.
But it's so hard to answer that question of what's a typical premium, what's the average premium. If I'm just taking static caravans, because you've got single units tin, single units non-tin, you've got then twin units.
So you're talking cladding,
Cladding,
CanXL,
yeah, so that's
aluminium.
Yeah, so you've got the call-ups, you've got UPVC, you've got your CanXL, etc., etc.
Okay.
And you've got that on now single unit caravans at the top end.
Yeah.
So that for us offers a slightly different premium, a lower premium, because it's about risk with us, as you know.
Sure.
Yeah,
Is that
and
about fire risk and
not fire
or
risk, no, almost the opposite. It's like accidental damage. So I went up to a park in Scotland the other day. It always seems to be Scotland. I went up to a park.
Right, well, let's not offend any more
No, I'm not
nations.
offending.
We're going to have more followers
I
there.
mean, as in, like, I was on a park in Scotland. See, I'm up there a lot because I like Scotland. It is a beautiful country. But when I was up at a park, and there were two units next to each other, one which was tin, and a pheasant had just flown into it, and it was dinted, scratched. Panels need replacing. If it had turned left rather than right, it'd have gone into a CanXL unit, and it wouldn't have battered it. It wouldn't have damaged it.
Okay.
So they're much more robust,
Right.
kind of cladding, that exterior. So therefore, your frequency of claims is lower. Hence the premium difference.
Okay.
All this, you know, and again, I don't want to go into the jargon and all the kind of
No.
costs that are built up into the premium and the splits and this, that, and the other. But it's quite a simple product in what we're looking at, you know, the caravan product and how we risk rate and charge for it. But it's hard to say, right, a typical unit is £300 on a single and £400 on a twin. Because it depends here where it's in the country, where it is on the park.
Yeah.
Something I've always wondered, you know, from an insurance perspective, because practices are quite different from park to park, and you know, so if I'm a customer and I've purchased a caravan, whatever value, do you insure the value that I paid for the total package or for just for the unit? And
You know
because
what?
some parks don't break that sort of stuff down. So
No, great question, Matt.
oh, you're welcome.
Great question. Really good question.
Not rehearsed at all. that.
Not rehearsed at all. No. And it's that's where the difficulty lies. That's where I feel for the customer. So we typically will insure for the price paid on park.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, in the event
So
of a
total
claim,
price. So
the RRP. So if you walk into a park today and you buy a £60,000 caravan, we'll insure it at £60,000 new for old. Because if we were, in 6 months' time, that caravan was to blow away and, you know, be decimated, we need to come to you as an operator and go, there's your, you know, the customer, there's my £60,000, get me that same caravan again. Okay?
Yeah.
The reality is there are a bit of negotiations that go on with the loss adjusters, etc., and there can be different ways in which you set them up. But typically, you're insuring it for the price paid on park.
Right.
Now, this is where I have a question over where we are as an industry of that price point is just going up and up and up and up and up and up. Premiums haven't gone up and up and up and up and up. If anything, premiums are going down.
Right. Because there is that bit around, you know, if I depend on what time of year I buy as a customer, I might have the balance of this year's and next year's fees all included within that as a part of a promotion. But you know, I don't see that in terms of ultimately I'm parting, you know, with X, and you know that as a customer I'm anticipating that that's what you'll insure it at.
Yeah.
But we all know that actually that probably included, you know, accessories, deckings, all that sort of stuff. That, you know, a fundamental.
None of it needs insured.
No, well, none of it needs insured, and ultimately, like things like a decking are a great example where you might have paid £5,000, £6,000, £7,000, £8,000 for that decking, and you know, in the event that something was to go wrong with the caravan, flooding or whatever, I mean, fire it may potentially is an exception, but you know, that decking would remain, and you can.
You'd think so, but not always, because if you lose a decking, you know, if you lose a caravan in a flood, you guys know as well as I do.
Timber frame anyway, isn't it? So,
but this
depending on which supplier.
I'm going to say you got timber, you got metal, you've got UPVC, but we also know that whilst we're whilst we're going to replace a unit like for like, it might slightly be different. The spec might be ever so slightly different.
So there'll be a refit and extension.
Exactly. So then you've got some extra costs to go on there. So it's not always the case of the deck slides out. And
no, sure.
Yeah. So the customer has to insure for all that, you know, your contents, your equipment, you know, and the structure itself. Yeah. But it's still one of those areas I'd love to simplify it. For me,
but but it is complex.
It is complex.
And I think that's the benefit of working, you know, with a business like yours.
Sector-specific business.
It's so specific.
Yeah.
You get it. And therefore, it's not this sort of off-the-shelf approach that customers end up just paying a fortune for because they try and make a one-size-fits-all
site and try and get, you know.
And it's just a minefield. Yeah. I would love to simplify it further. I would love all insurance providers of the sector to do a blanket sum insured. So, you know, up to $500,000 for a single static. Yeah. And then at that point, at least, if you've got the averages behind the scenes and that's based on the risk and the true risk, then everybody's like for like. And
so that could happen on the basis that everyone did it? You couldn't just have one provider.
No, you can do. There are some providers out there that do that.
Right.
But it's not everybody's doing it. So it's quite hard to price when you're doing a blanket sum insured, particularly for our industry. And there'll be some operators that might want that full true RRP. Some of them are a bit more reasonable. Some of them understand it. Some of them don't. And again, I think most things is about education, isn't it?
Of course it is.
So if they know where you're coming from, and this is where I would like to think that we sit down and the team explain to the operators, this is where we're coming from. This is what we like to do. We're very open and honest with all our agents, park operators, park partners. We call them park partners. They are partners of ours. It's really important we have that partnership with them to understand their business. They understand our business, but we're very clear and transparent. This is how much margin we have. This is how much you're going to be potentially taking it for a lick of the lolly. This is what then it means to the customer, and we want to be really fair. That's a big change that's happening in the insurance world, the regulation. Compliance and FCA, all that red tape, it's got much more, it's got much tighter, and there's much more emphasis on what we call value in the chain. And we're trying to educate parks day by day and week by week to get they get that understanding of why we're doing what we're doing and why we price what we price and etc. But really, it's about value in the chain.
Sure.
That is what the FCA look at right now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So 20 years in the sector.
20 years.
What do you think, firstly, what have you got any highlights, standout moments for you? Throughout
18 years ago meeting you, Stacey.
Sorry, I shouldn't have laughed that hard.
You know what? Again, I've been
that one's obviously
I've been in the car quite a bit recently, thinking about today as well, and thinking that's going to be a question. There's so much, isn't there? We've had some genuinely fantastic conferences, from the NCC to the Whole Seasons conferences to the general park shows, and there's been all sorts of stuff. When I first started, because I started what I class as on the shop floor. I came in as a business relationship manager or exec. I can't remember what the title was at the time. And I have worked my way all the way through to head of Leisuredays. And through that time, I've done all this blood, sweat and tears. I've been on parks where I've caught people, in the dunes. That was hilarious. When I was going out to do a survey, and I was walking around and I was like, they're really? Oh, they are? Got me pictures. So there's that. When we used to do our, at the lawns, when we used to do our own little entertainment conference, whatever you want to call it, night. And one year we auctioned off the team. Well, no.
For what?
So the park operators. So we auctioned the team off to do jobs for them.
Oh, right.
But no one bid for anybody other than myself. So I ended up going down to a park for the weekend as their maid, and they actually put me in a maid's outfit. So I was cleaning their office in a maid's outfit. I'm convinced, by the way, that, like I say, 20 years today, I'm sure there's going to be a piece in now what we call insights, like our internal magazine, and I'm convinced some of these.
They'll resurface.
Is there any evidence
photos.
of this?
Yeah, that's what.
Is there any pictures? Yeah?
There is pictures, Matt. They made me as well stand.
We
at the
didn't do enough research before this.
They,
No.
yeah, if you ask my team, they've probably got some. And if it comes, if there's photos on this podcast, I know where it's come from. I'll be gunning for yous. So they made me stand outside the front of the park, right on the main road, and I was cleaning their sign in a maid's outfit. That's another memory.
Oh, I need to see. I need to see some evidence of this, like.
Yeah. There's been some, obviously, you guys know what it's like when you're travelling about. I've missed planes. When Kate was pregnant with, I think it was Max, actually. So it must have been, a couple of years in. The lad that were booking the flights booked the wrong year. And Kate was heavily pregnant, and I was supposed to be going to like an antenatal clinic or whatever meeting. Missed that. There's been so many.
Yeah. She got a free holiday the next year.
Yeah. We had a consultant once. We had a consultant, bless his socks. He came and did some work with us. We didn't have anybody in the southeast. And I can mention his name. A guy called Lewis came with us. He was an ex-broker of a particular age, and we did a chili challenge.
Right.
We thought we'd killed him. Because he went
That's
up.
so dangerous.
I know,
those
it was
things
one of
are.
these bottles, right?
That's so
I
dangerous.
did a toothpick, and I was like, wow, I was pouring like milk down my face. And Lewis had this, and he went off to his room, and he never reappeared. And we were like, oh my days. What if we've killed him?
You see, well, you have to sign like I'm terrible with spice, but you have to sign a disclaimer for those things.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, he
'cause,
definitely
like,
signed a
someone's
disclaimer.
miscompliant.
I'm going to say.
Honestly, wouldn't I would fit right in the insurance world.
Yes,
I am little
miscompliance.
miscompliant.
Are ya?
I'm terrible.
Oh, you'd be brilliant in
I
that
am.
space.
I'm terrible. Well, I just keep us legal and safe, and
Yeah.
I do. It's important.
Yeah.
You ever done
He
the cinnamon
definitely signed
challenge?
a disclaimer.
You ever done the cinnamon challenge?
No, what's that?
Like a teaspoonful of cinnamon.
Oh, no, I haven't.
It's absolutely
No,
dreadful.
we've done the crackers.
Coming at me nose.
Yeah,
and
crackers,
also
yeah.
eyes watering.
I can imagine.
Awful.
No.
No, but there's just been so many really good, meeting so many different people, like the celebrities that we've met as well. There've been some great ones. Chris Hoy was one that I really loved listening to him. I was like
Yeah.
sat.
Which one was that? 'Cause I think
That was down at Holborn. That was a Holborn retail.
Right. No, I think I had.
They did
He's
some
a great guy.
Yeah, really
Real
nice
shame
guy.
what's happening to him right now.
And then Adam Fox, from the SAS.
Oh, that was
Wasn't that
great.
good? Wasn't that really good?
It was exceptional.
Yeah, it was. It was really.
That was
good,
only a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
It
Because I
was,
remember
yeah.
telling you about that, didn't
Who's
I?
been your favourite? I know I'm supposed to speak, but who's been your favourite person that you've heard speak across the industry?
I went to an awards night once when I was with the previous operator, and Joanna Lumley was the host.
Oh, really?
Oh, I adore her.
Right, you've got a bit of a crush.
Not a
Because
crush,
you've got, I'm going to say,
she's
because
just an
you started
absolute...
stroking your hair
She's
and
just-
you've got a little shrine at
just-
home or something.
She's just an
Isn't she?
absolute. She's just an absolute legend, isn't she? And I know. Do you know what?
She's absolutely fabulous,
Yeah,
isn't
she is. She is. I adore her. So yeah, that was ace. Do you know who else? I think Jeff Ram.
Yeah.
Really?
Jeff Ram is brilliant.
Okay.
Absolutely brilliant.
What about you, Matt?
I think so. The two. So one is probably. I mean, a lot. I think a lot of people within the industry will have heard of him. Marcus Child is probably, for me, that you get them people that just get you thinking about everything, not just business, about life, about everything. Like you start reflecting on everything, and so I've had the privilege of spending huge amount of time with Marcus Child, and I'd urge any business out there if you've got the opportunity to bring.
He's exceptional, isn't he?
He's incredible, and and so I've spent a fair bit of time with him in leadership courses and everything else, and he's over time become a really good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And
Because there was a guy because how long have you been in the sector now, Matt?
13 years now.
13 years.
11 of
So
it
I
at
think
Haven
from a
Hall.
very, very early days, when NCC did conferences, a guy called Philip Hesketh,
Right.
he is like amazing. Like he's a typical, I say typical, apologies Philip, he was great at sales and persuasion and
Yeah. So let me take you back 20 odd years.
yeah.
What, I mean, I mean, you must have started in the industry with no clients, or very few, maybe
Yeah.
by the time you joined.
Yeah.
How has Leisuredays and yourself approached, within this industry specifically, the acquisition of, you know, clients, but trust and everything else? Sort of, you know, how what are the things you've had to do in that period of time?
Again, good question, because when I came into the industry, you're right, we didn't have, I think we had one, maybe two parks that were recommending, you know, referring, Leisuredays, but it was it was new. So it was literally, we had a blank piece of paper.
Yeah.
I still think the main, what do you call it, approach was family, culture, feel, personable. And I knocked on doors. I literally went round the industry, parks, knocking on doors, give me an opportunity. Can you refer your customers to us?
Yeah.
We'd love to offer.
And at that time, Gareth, was it people were with another provider, or were there a much larger percentage of customers just with no insurance back in those days?
I think it was a mix, actually,
Okay.
because we definitely saw that there were what we call block schemes. That's what we've always called them, a block scheme arrangement, where there was one insurance broker providing the insurance for the owners. So we definitely saw an opportunity to go and sort of like bust into that space, but it was how are we going to do it? And it was just me going out, knocking on doors and saying, will you review your insurance?
Yeah.
Will you give us a chance?
Yeah.
You know, I've started to use the phrase more often because I'm going back out and training, doing a lot of training with the new guys. I'm starting to say to them, ask the operator to take a leap of faith. So when we talk about new business, I always say, you know, take the leap of faith. We know what we're doing. And I wonder if it's kind of hard to cast your mind back 20 years, but there was very much an innocence about me of not knowing the sector.
Yeah.
I was trying to come from a financial background with a corporate stick up the backside type of thing, you know. That didn't work. But then I think I've been really lucky across the career of meeting some really, really influential people that have helped me along the way.
Is there anyone that stands out?
I honestly, I could name so many, and it'd be wrong to name one person, two persons today.
You'd feel like
I would miss. I know I would miss.
I know what you mean,
But
though.
there is a lot of people still now to this day that I would pick up the phone and ask opinions of, just like yourselves, who have helped us along the way. Some people, and one person in particular, really did put their arm around me and sort of like said, that's the wrong thing to do, it's the wrong approach.
Okay.
We know you're keen, but just calm it down. Could you imagine me 20 years ago? Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
You could imagine.
Calm,
Billy Whiz.
Calm is not a word that I would use to
No.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think you're like level-headed. I don't think you're
Yeah.
erratic.
At the start, I was though. To be
energetic,
fair,
aren't you?
if you've seen Shrek the movie, haven't you? You know the donkey in there. You know, I was like, pick me, and that's what I was like. You know, pick Leisuredays. And eventually,
Oh, you just give us an image now.
but it wasn't like. That's another one. Probably is it a guilty pleasure? Probably not in terms of I loved animation movies. So when again when the kids were growing up, watched all them, and there's characters in there that I think have just got traits of me in the very early days. I were eager to impress. Again, the people that are closest to me will appreciate. I want to be liked.
Yeah.
I'd hate to think that I've really upset somebody or I've really miffed somebody off because that's not my intention.
Okay.
So I genuinely would hate that. But when I went out there and I was like a pocket rocket, like I'm gonna, you know, literally dominate insurance world. And someone said to me, like literally, get back here, sit down, just breathe.
Calm.
Just breathe.
Yeah.
And that really put me on a really good path.
Right.
And then it was starting to understand the industry. There were certain key players in the industry at the time, certain key operators.
Yeah.
There were people that I wouldn't do business with directly, but I'd have relationship with them, so they would then recommend me to other people. And we built up just knocking on doors and getting the smaller parks on board, and then hopefully you felt like they get to bigger things.
Did you start to then step up in terms of your seniority as you started to recruit more people to sort of do the door knocking? Is that at the point when you sort of stepped up, or was that much later?
You know, funnily enough, yes and no. So it was organic the way I developed. Chris Nettleton, who's again one of the directors of the business, he's been my line manager all the way through. He's been like my company dad, business dad.
Okay.
You know, really helped me get where I needed to get to. And I think one of my proudest moments, you was just talking about this one, and it has really just come back to me. I went on what they called the Platinum Leadership Program with RSA.
Right.
So that was our underwriter. They are our underwriter. They've just rebranded to Intact Insurance. That's all over LinkedIn. But when I did this leadership course, it was a 12-month course, and it took me across business. And again, I talked earlier about that. I'm not very academic, but when I joined Leisuredays, I felt like I could start to learn again, and I really got. I got a buzz of learning and passing and tests and getting certificates, and I felt like actually I can do this. Yeah. You know, so a lot of people.
Just wrong environment.
A lot of people learn later in life. Yeah. You know, I were an absolute tool at school.
Yeah, me too.
You know.
But I still am.
Yeah, to most people I probably am. That's got to be my proudest moment of passing that with flying colours, you know, graduating from the Platinum Leadership Programme, but it gave me a lot of insight into business.
Yeah.
And I would say...
And probably a lot of confidence as well, Gareth.
It did give me a lot of confidence to be able to speak to senior people, your FDs. You know, your CEOs.
That's the one thing about this sector is I will say, I think, you know, it's women typically experience imposter syndrome much more than men, but I think there are a lot of opportunities in this sector for people that, you know, haven't done conventionally well at school, so you know, don't have, you know, higher education degrees, etc. But you know, and you know, we fall into that bracket, you know, and I think just because you didn't go to uni, or you know, you don't have a degree, doesn't make you, you know, unsmart, uneducated, whatever.
Not.
And I think that's what the wonderful thing about this sector is. It gives people so many career opportunities, despite what's happened in, you know, education. But I think with that, you know, you end up sitting at tables and feeling like you don't belong at them, you know. And I think it's more prevalent in women. I think because I think women typically suffer from imposter syndrome a bit more than men do. But yeah, no, it's lovely to hear that. I think because I think it's quite a common story.
Yeah. Do you think the industry's changed for the better then, in terms of giving opportunities fairly across?
I think it's getting better.
Yeah.
I think it's getting better.
Because I think for me, like, I love balance.
Yeah.
You know, so we're 50-50.
Yeah, good.
Not through, you know, people get the job if they've got the right skill set, and it just so happens that it's been that way. But the dynamics are great. You know, I always say, from my point of view, there are certain people that work with certain people in a better frame, you know, with a better way. We all know that people learn differently, take on information differently, and if you've got the balance between that, it's great. But I totally appreciate what you're saying, actually, when you first went.
You know, and I guess, you know, but whenever I've had teams that I've managed directly, or, you know, or even if there's been layers in between myself and them, you know, I've always just got a lot out of having the right balance of,
well, it should be.
You know, but you know, I've always come back to the core principle. If you'll get the job if you're right for it. But,
right fit, right.
You know, I think.
But diversity. So we talk about culture, but diversity among teams are what makes strong teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Isn't it? So I think it's important, and all, you know, in all aspects, and you know, I mean, in age and, you know, in gender, and
but that's where the word culture comes in, doesn't it? You hear a lot of podcasts, or you read a lot of books. That's the other thing that I've started doing a lot more of, is reading.
Okay.
Never was a big reader.
No.
But I don't know why now I love reading. Maybe an age thing, you said that earlier. But again, I love to pick up a book. I love a performance book. I love a psychological type of
I don't
mindset.
mind a book, but I think about your point there. I mean, you know, I didn't do very well at school either. And, you know, I think that was more about environment than it was anything else. I had a really clear target in my mind at a very young age. I think my first visit to the Army Careers Office was when I was 13.
Right.
So from that point onwards, I knew my path, and I wanted to just do enough to get there.
Yeah.
And did that. But throughout my career, I've had many times where I've felt imposter syndrome when you're sitting in, rooms with extremely senior people with, Oxbridge sort of level qualifications.
Yeah.
But then, the other side of that is I've genuinely never met these people and thought, that they would actually be happy with me feeling in that way.
Okay.
So I've been quite fortunate, I think, because I think about my time back at Haven, some extremely clever people joined the business in a very short space of time, and but I think about every one of them now. I learned something from all of them, and
Good.
from others I learned a lot more.
That there is what I would say I was and still am a sponge. Never stop. You can never stop learning.
Yeah.
And I know, again, it sounds cheesy, but I'm always wanting to learn something from somewhere to keep adding and keep passing on to the kids. Yeah. We talk about book smart and street smart. Yeah. If you can have a bit of both, I think you're a better balanced person. And you see the other side of it. And we, again, through the family, we always talk about just have a bit of both. Yeah. And you'll go far. I don't expect or want my kids to be, I don't know, lawyers and this, that and the other if they don't want to be. Follow your passion, but most importantly, got to have a smile on your face, whatever you do, haven't you? Because if you don't, there's no point doing it. That's what I always say to the kids, just be happy. Just be happy. And I think that's what my parents did with me was, if you don't want to be in the business, that's fine. Yeah. And then I had this opportunity where I felt like I had to prove something to everybody. And then it just felt lucky. Yeah. But that's probably my proudest moment, actually, now you said about it. The leadership programme.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Is there room for Max or Rory to join the business?
Always. You're a family-run business, yeah, absolutely. I bet the will be family.
Any of those
I think they will do. I mean, they probably will do very similar to what the guys have done now. They went off and did, work experience and things elsewhere, product development, nutritionists, sales operations, teaching. They've all done they've all done something really
had other lives.
Yeah. Go and find your way. Yeah. And then if you want to come back into the business, come back into the business. I genuinely could see it. Would I want the boys to come into this industry? Well, no, because they don't have any passion for it right now.
Yeah. Well, they're only little though, aren't they?
Well, Max he's 18. Keeps telling me he's an adult. Yeah. Yeah, but can't wash his own plate.
He's got a lot to learn, isn't he? Final question. Yeah. What do you love most about the sector?
The people. Yeah. It's cheesy.
No, it's always the answer.
Yeah,
isn't it?
People the people make this industry. It's just fun, isn't it? It really is good fun. Yeah. What more can you say about that?
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Well, God, I could sit here.
Well, we have been.
I know,
quite a while.
I could sit here all day
and what the viewers will see is, I don't know, an hour of this, but
I could sit here all day.
I guess we can't thank you enough for taking the trip up here.
And vice versa, though, I'd wanted to be on a podcast forever.
Today, spending this day with us is, we really appreciate it. And you're you're a brilliant friend and a true gent, and the industry is genuinely just really lucky to have you. I think it's people like you that make it so great. We've loved having you. Please come back soon.
Oh, I definitely will do. Thanks for having me, guys.
Cheers.
Before we go though,
go on.
One thing I was going to ask you too. What are your non-negotiables?
Best time all the time.
Best time all the time.
Because we have to.
If we don't enjoy it, what's the point?
We'll have to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then we only work with people where we're a good fit.
Yeah.
Good fit.
And I think they're probably the key ones. And then I suppose business and clients come first. So we use that one when we fall out.
You're like brother and sister in a way, aren't you? When you're in work mode. And it's like, and that's what happens with us, with our team. You know, like the girl, Helen and Chloe, who's been with us for a while, they're like, I'm like your work wife.
Yeah.
I'm like, you need to be my work wife because you keep me on the straight and narrow. But we have a right good bitch and a whine and a moan, and you know.
It's funny though, you know, yeah, we fall out, we bicker, we, you know, occasionally have a shouting match at each other, but you know, there's never a point in time where I don't think, it's my best pal. You know,
it only lasts a few minutes.
It doesn't last long. It normally results in me saying sorry.
Or me going off.
You know, and then you just move on, don't you?
Yeah. No, we don't. It's never like malicious or.
I don't think we'd have got this
very long.
as a start-up. I don't think we'd have got this far if especially with the year we've had. I don't think we'd have got this far.
Yeah, we proper look after each other, don't we? We do, and we're great. You know, we're brilliant pals.
And if you guys hadn't been in the industry, because obviously both of you have been in a long time, what would you have done? Do you think, or wanted to do?
Oh, that's a good question. I love event planning.
Do you? You'd be an event planner.
Yeah,
What, like weddings or just any?
I love it, don't I?
Anything that's got a little bit of fizz
Do you
and a
know
little
what,
bit
though?
of a boogie.
So I
you got to plan it and
I
let
think
people do it, not be involved.
I
in
know,
those
but
days.
I think so obviously I went to Haggerston Castle to do my work experience. That's how I got into the sector. But I wanted to go to the Berwick Advertiser.
Right. Okay.
I wanted to be like a journalist.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get to go to the Berwick Advertiser, so I went to Haggerston Castle, and then that's where my life began.
Yeah.
But I applied for an air hostess job as well once, and I didn't get that. But that could have taken my life off in a different direction, didn't it?
It could have.
I love travelling though. I don't like flying.
But thinking you nearly just smashed the glass off
I
the
know.
table,
I'm
so
the
you'd have been an
clumsiest
absolute
person in the world.
I'm just
aren't I?
thinking that as well. Like, you'd have been a nightmare on a plane.
What about you, Matt?
Yeah.
Well, so I guess I always wanted to be in the military, so that's what I did.
Yeah.
When I left, I did some close protection work for a little while.
What, like
But
Kevin
I'd
Costner
always
stuff? Like Bodyguard, Kevin Costner stuff.
Yeah. So
He
but-
thinks he's like Jason Statham, doesn't he?
well,
He genuinely does.
Yeah,
doesn't
but the thing is that I ended up back in the places I didn't want to go because I'd left the military for, you know, and I ended up back in, you know, theatres that I didn't want to be in.
Aces. That was fun.
It was good fun. Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, it really did. Yeah. Love asking you two questions.